Back over to Lee Harris, Swan Financial. Stephen wrote us an email about a house he just bought, Lee. He was talking with his neighbor, explained he wanted to build a pool in his backyard, and his new neighbor asked, where would the pump be located? I think we know where this is going, right? Stephen says, I'm not sure, but he pointed to an area near the edge of his property, I guess, and close to the edge of the neighbor's property, at which point Stephen says the neighbor said, I just don't want a pool in the area or the noise that comes with it. So Stephen's wondering, can the neighbor stop the pool from being built? Lee?
Well, that's a great question. So if he lives in a neighborhood that has an HOA, a homeowners association, they all have bylaws and master deeds, and they say what can be there and what can't. So that's your first step, Stephen, is to find out if you have an HOA and also get a copy of those documents. It might say you can have a pool that's in ground, but you can't have an above ground pool, or it might say you can't have any pool at all, or it might say nothing about restricting pools. And so that's really where the crux of the matter is going to lie, because your neighbor, if you have the right to put a pool into your property and it's not going to encroach on your neighbor's property, then your neighbor really doesn't have a right to tell you what to do with your own land. And even if it's going to be a little noisier, that's just something that happens when you have neighbors. Sometimes they have a dog, or sometimes they have a chicken coop or something, or a pool that causes more noise than they were used to. But I think that's where to start. Ask your HOA president or your secretary for a copy of those documents. If you need help, you can feel free to call me on that number that Bob gave you, and I'll help you go through them as well.
We're going to give that out in a moment again. And one other thing, for those of you who are shopping for a home with a pool in mind, it might be worth it to go ahead of schedule. Go to your neighbor, a potential neighbor, where you're going to be buying a home, and say, hey, listen, I may be your new neighbor, and I'm wondering, would you object to me putting a pool in if I end up moving here? So at least you got that out there, and you can read the tea leaves, so to speak, whether you're going to have a problem in the future. A reminder, if you'd like to see what both buyers and sellers are saying about us, we made it very easy. Reviews we're very proud of. You can go to LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com.